We're not sponsored by Ozarka. I'm sorry, guys. Hey, welcome back to I'm in Control podcast. I am the Charity E.
I'm June Speaks, and I'm sharing the mic.
Oh, Lord. I'm Janae.
I'm Misha.
And then we have a special guest joining us. I think this isn't our first guest. We've had like Joseph and Marcus on. But this is like our first non-family guest.
Right.
So, hopefully it gets a little spicy. Kamisha, tell them who it is.
All right. This is Ron King. He is a serial business owner. He is an event planner, event curator, honestly been the top promoter in the game outside of me. And the male game here in the DFW in Texas, honestly, because I won, top promoter 2018. But other than that, he is Mr. Dallas Peeps, Mr. Party Chaser, Mr. Throne Group. You guys know who it is. He's also a dope Airbnb host. You guys need Airbnb. This is the man. He has several properties and a bunch of other stuff. He just gets to the bag. Welcome, Ron King.
Welcome, Ron, after here. All of that.
Why did Kamisha bring in her stuff from 20?
That was a real selfish introduction.
Because I'm Kim K. That's what Kim does. Kim will be like, I started it all.
It's 2021 and you're talking about 2018.
Matter. I'm still, but guess what? Nobody's one after me.
Soldier Boy.
So I'm still, yeah.
Has she had it?
Yes, and I'm still the top.
I don't know. I feel like, who are those new people? Who are the new promoters now? You and Ron probably know.
She's not gonna promote them.
You know what? No. They were. I'm not a hater. A lot of them work underneath him, or he's put them on.
Okay,
so
cool.
Look at Ron trying to.
I mean, no, for real. He's not going to say it, but I mean, a lot of them do. A lot of them do.
Okay. Well, apparently from our notes, Ron, I found out a lot that I didn't know about you that we're going to talk to you about today. So
it's good stuff.
Yeah. Fun fact, I did not know that you had children.
You didn't?
No. Why would I I don't follow him on Instagram. It's not like the kids are at the.
Rude. Why don't you follow him?
Hey, didn't I do a whole
event for your business.
Well, okay. Anyways,
Wow.
He doesn't bring the kids to the club, so how else would I know?
They're all over Insta.
I think what
you
Ron
really tracking my KPI. You just wrote something in.
Okay, so how is it being a single dad?
Man, that's like a multifaceted, multi-layered answer. But overall, it's great. That's probably the most fun and the most, I guess, emotional process that I've ever been through. It started off, rocky, and we sometimes put too much into it, overthinking it. When about a year later you're looking and you're like, why was I even tripping?
Right.
So it's overall it's great experience. I feel like you can't compare it to anything else, especially having boys.
May I ask the age of your children?
9 and 5.
9 and 5.
That's perfect age.
Yeah, it's a great age. And may I just commend you for being a dad, that inclusive dad that's there for them, because that's not the story of everyone. There we have so many, particularly in the African American community, we all know that we have all these single parent homes which moms are raising boys, and it's very difficult for moms to raise boys to men. So I commend you for being in the lives of your children. And that sounds odd, doesn't it, to commend somebody to doing something that they should be doing. But when we find someone that is doing what they should be doing, you should be commended. So I commend you for that.
And he's not forced to be in their lives. Ron chooses to have his kids all the time.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I mean, no, but a lot. No, I'm just piggybacking off what Mom said about a lot of it's a lot of single moms. I mean, realistically,
yeah.
And then the dads are forced because it's court ordered. That's not the situation. Like he's like, I'm picking up my kids. You know what I mean? Right. So
okay, well, this brings up a good point, because some women purposely don't allow men to see their kids out of spite or whatever. How do you feel about that?
Well, it hurts the kid. Adults will get over it. I don't have to. In my situation, my oldest son, it's like that. At times, his mom is, for a myriad of different reasons, just can't get over certain things, and it has strained, my relationship with my oldest son to the point where, conflict like communication, like I have to go through her, to get to him, and that depends on when she's off work and all these other variables that wouldn't be there if he was just, with me or had a direct line. And I mean, I just, over time, I think too, like depends on the father, but I don't like confrontation. So like I'm the type to just be like, all right, well, you keep tripping, then I'm just gonna be like, all right, well,
Yeah.
You deal with it. But I was wrong for that because, I should have been, a jerk.
Right.
You gotta get ugly. If somebody being ugly, sometimes you gotta be ugly back to get what you need to get done. I hate to say that, but it's the truth. You can't be the only one compromising and being nice and and then expecting something different.
I think it just takes like a whole bunch of maturity. And I've discussed this with some friends of mine just about when it comes to like custody issues, because you have to learn how to separate. Unless the child was truly in harm's way, you have to learn how to separate the relationship that you had with the father or the mother of your child and then the relationship that you have with your child. Because he's right. At the end of the day, his son's going to want to know, did you fight for me? Because he's probably getting, and I don't know her and I don't know the situation, so I don't want to insinuate, but a lot of the times people get one side of the
Story.
situation.
Yeah.
So when his son gets older, it's like, but Dad, did you fight for me? And so he's right. But a lot of times you're just like, oh, I don't feel like dealing with this. I know I'm doing my best, but sometimes the kids don't understand. And it's just really sad that that happens still to this day.
And I think that's when you go, and I'm not saying you haven't, not diving into your business that way, but for those who don't know, you can go get court orders for that.
Yeah.
You can go and say, I want to spend, my child it's like dual custody, and my child should spend this much time with me, and those are those assigned times that you were talking about. I think Kamisha was talking about, well, he hasn't been forced to do that, but when you get into those situations where either parent is being the difficult parent because of the relationship, as Janae was saying, that the two parents are having, somebody does have to step in and say, not on my watch.
Yeah.
You know how? What's the guy from Baby Boy, Jody? I want to see my son a bit.
Yeah, you got to get like that.
It's like that's how it is. But because I feel like, what did Kamisha say you were? An entrepreneur, a serial entrepreneur? Did I make that up? Did I
Yeah, she said that.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So because you do so many things, like how do you balance work and fatherhood? Because me being in corporate America, I feel like a lot of those men, they put work first. And that's just me looking outside in. They'll spend like all day working, go home and keep working. And the mom is like, are you going to help with the kids or
Right,
no?
right.
So.
Yeah.
I would say for sure earlier in my career, yeah, I mean it was business first, I won't say overall it felt like it was first. I spent definitely more time working than enjoying my fatherhood, I mean we did enjoy the time that we spent, but it wasn't, I didn't have the even though I was an entrepreneur, I still was like kind of like a slave to my business, like it was all the time. It never was turned off. It was, so, growing out of that and finding out that I can free up my time, I don't have to be like working on my business every day.
Yeah.
Then, then it let me see where, I can be doing this, and I'd much rather be spending time in the middle of the day at the park and doing random stuff with my kids than working. And so now, that I've gotten to that place, I wouldn't want it any different way.
The kids need to be at school, talking about in the middle of the day at the park.
Well,
We in a panorama.
It's
And
summertime.
yeah.
And that work life and family life is really a balance. And when I went through DeVos, I went through an initiative called the DeVos Urban Initiative. And one thing they taught us was about balance, because even in the industry, nonprofit and mentorship and speaking, you can just get caught up in all of that stuff. And I'm helping someone else's children, but I'm not helping my own, and I'm not spending time with my own family. So we always, and that comes through mentorship. That even me being a mentor, someone had to mentor that and bring that point into me, that balance was important. And that doesn't mean I go get my TLC girls and say, we're going to hang out with my girls. I'm still working with my TLC girls there too, you know? So you do have to get that. Don't feel bad about it, but for all the entrepreneurs out there, I know you're trying to make it. I know you guys trying to get your hustle on, get on that Forbes list, but balance it. You can't get the time back with your husband, your wife, and your kids.
Yeah.
You just can't.
Yeah.
Cannot.
Who trying to get on the Forbes list?
Most people.
Most people trying to get on the Forbes.
Most people.
You didn't know that was the latest and the greatest? Everybody's trying to get on that Forbes list?
I mean, growing up, I felt like it was
Trying
like,
to be under the radar.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get to the Forbes list. I don't need people knocking on my door. No.
get on there.
You want to get on there?
Yeah.
Doing what?
I don't know.
Okay.
You're not there yet.
No, I'm joking. This is how I banter with Charity because she's trying to be funny. But Charity already knows. First of all, Charity, you think I'm so popping, you trying to manage me.
I actually declined. I said
No,
15-15
no.
marketing is not
she
going
wants to
to
manage me, period, because she know I would be her top client.
How
She wants
did
to
this
manage the manager.
conversation move from Ron King to Misha?
It always is about Kim K.
That's usually how it happens.
Usually how it
Let's
goes.
be clear. Like, y'all, like, come on now.
Oh my God.
Come on now. But I did want to say this since we were talking about, because he's not going to toot his own horn, and y'all always say that I toot mine, so toot toot. I'll toot his horn. So we were talking about balancing work life as an entrepreneur and having kids. And if Charity did follow Ron, I know everybody else at this table does, you would see, dig, you would see that what I've noticed about him, because we've been friends for over 20 years, what I've noticed about him, and I do know his situation, is that if you did actually look at his stories and stuff, he shows more of his kids than he even shows his businesses.
Right.
Like, it's kid. Like, if you didn't know him, you're like, oh, like, he's always with his kids. So it is pretty dope. And it's not like, some people use a kid or a dog, like, to get girls. It's not that. Like, he's really with his kids.
To get girls?
Yeah, they'll be like, if they're a single dad, y'all have never seen that?
No, because I don't want nobody with no
I won't
kids.
say that I haven't done.
Yeah, like, if you have a cute kid and you're at the park, it's like, Micah going over there.
No, I don't send him, but
It works.
But it works.
It works. Oh my God, he's so cute.
I feel like if women feel as if the man is attentive,
Yes.
Oh,
his
to the child.
Yes.
then it shows like a different side. I saw this thing, and I don't believe this is in our notes, but it just something that I thought about. So
We're off the record.
So they were talking about being a single mom and a single dad. And this guy, probably on TikTok, said that he believes, I can't remember if it's a guy or girl, that women or whoever need to stop saying that they're single moms if they have an active parent.
Oh.
Do y'all agree?
No.
I've had this conversation.
Do y'all agree? So like if me and Ron have children and we're not together, he's active, I'm active, I'm really not a single parent.
Okay, but you're essentially right now you are. You are single.
No, I'm not a single parent. Because
You're single as far as you're divorced.
yes, but
So,
Joe takes.
He's very active.
He's
Yeah, you're
active,
right.
so I can't classify myself as a single mom because the connotation, that goes along with that is that I have no help.
Okay, so you're just a co-parenter.
Yes.
Okay.
You should say I co-parent.
Okay.
So what do you think? You agree?
No, I totally agree because I had this conversation with Micah's mom, and I was like, "What?" She said she posted like single mom. Or I forget how it came up, and I was like, "What you mean single mom? I'm here."
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm right here.
Yeah.
We live like blocks away from each other.
Yeah.
So, although we didn't work as a couple, we're definitely there co-parenting. We go out of town
Together.
take the kid out of town. So, I wouldn't say that you're single. You're single,
Right.
but you're not a single parent.
Gotcha.
That is a good. That's
Never
a
thought
good,
about it
that
that
is
way.
a good. That's a good thought. Somebody needs to come up and.
I'm not
bring-
a single parent.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not out there like, oh, I got my, he has a capable, able mother. That's
Somebody, Ron. Maybe you need to brand that. Somebody needs to change.
She always- Come on,
someone
Christian.
needs to change the narrative because we've always used single mom to mean that there was
No
just
father.
there was no father in the
Right.
person's life. So how do we hashtag when there is a parent,
Co-parent.
either a mom or dad in those children's life? I think that's something that
I think
You
it's
just said
already
it's
called
co-parent.
co-parenting.
Yeah.
Mom.
But
It's
people
called-
don't use
but
that
They don't
in-
use it, but I feel
Yeah.
like they need to. And we have to get. I said this earlier. We have to get to a place, and I know everybody's relationship is different. Everybody cannot work together. Everybody will not be amicable. I understand that, but as it relates to the kid, the goal should be the same. The goal should be that we raise the most healthy, productive, mentally stable kid as we can. Because I feel like even with my biological father, my mom, from what I can remember, didn't dog him like to me. I felt like I saw his actions and I was able to, now I probably saw their interactions, but I was able to form my own opinion. And I feel like parents really need to get back to that.
Yeah.
If possible.
And mom had
not-
every right to dog him.
but
and didn't.
but she did.
And she didn't.
And so it's kind of like you look and you let the kid decide as they get older. They start to see, instead of saying your dad is trash and your mom is lazy and your mom all she want me for is her money. Whatever the situation. I think we need to get back to that.
it was very, and the thing, it was difficult on both sides, because for me, raising you guys, because I literally, Mark helped me raise
Right,
you guys.
of
before,
course.
And before Mark was there, Mark is my
You
husband
were a
now.
single mom.
I was literally a single mom. But I've always said that the parents have their own relationship, and then the parent and the children have their own relationship. So I gave fathers the power, and I gave them options to be in your lives.
Right.
They chose not to.
Right.
So as Ron was stating, maybe that's what he's getting on his side from a female. I got that from fathers
Right.
that did not want to be in the children's lives. So I had to turn it around, and it wasn't going to help the matter anymore. So for any mom out there that's kind of just dogging out the dad, maybe he's an absentee father, maybe he's not paying that child support, go to court, send him to court, get his income taxes. There's things you can do.
Right.
But just to dog him out in front of the children, hold the children as hostage because you're still hostile and you cannot get past that relationship, boo, you're not going to move on in your life and have a
I
healthy life
agree.
until you get past your past.
Right.
Okay, I'm done.
Oh, Charity, we need a ding, ding, ding.
No.
No, that wasn't a nugget.
Was it a nugget?
Charity is hating
Yeah.
today. Y'all
Okay,
have to
I got
forgive
it.
her. But it's true. You have to get past your past.
Yeah.
And it's simple, but it's very complex.
Yeah. Or you can just bust out their windows. Jasmine's on.
What is wrong with you?
Ron,
no.
would you like to?
No.
You want to tell the story?
No, I really was saying, I bust your windows out your car. They could do that. But I'm joking, ladies. Don't bust out no windows.
Yeah, it's
Don't pull a lemonade like Beyonce with the bat. All that.
But I feel like Kamisha has a past. Ron, would you like to elaborate?
We should, key cards and bust out window. Lights, front door lights, and other things.
Put sugar in gas tanks. We talked about that on the other episode.
I didn't know you even did that.
I did.
You're insane.
Brown sugar. I was supposed
Now,
to use
she
regular
was,
sugar,
but
not
you
use
were
brown.
20, right?
up?
I
How
was
old were you?
19, 20.
What side of the family did that come from, though? That's
My mom. It came from the Jackson side of the family.
I have.
It is. Thank you. That's the Jackson side.
Hold up.
'Cause the trailer
Disclaimer,
side-
She's not gonna bring that foolishness over here and that craziness. Because I have never. I don't go for a fight. I didn't call for you. Don't come after me. But I don't go after a fight.
No. We need to have a pause.
Not with a guy.
Not with the.
Not with a guy.
Mom, you fight anybody if
Come on,
if she
take
felt
Thank
if you
you.
felt disrespected.
Thank you.
Yeah.
If my
Mom will
mother
fight.
felt disrespect, now let me tell you,
She's
I
flipping
defend
tables.
myself.
She's flipping tables.
she in her past she will go toe to toe, and even so
Before
toe to toe,
Christ.
but even a little after Christ, you just not gonna run over June Evans, and I'm gonna say you're not gonna run over Charity, Janae, or Kamisha. We just exhibited in different ways.
Me and mom like to fight. We fight. No. Mom won't cuss you out. Ow.
No.
In the name of
I
Jesus.
am not.
In the name of Jesus, I'll cut. My mom won't cuss you out, but she won't even need to cuss you out.
But the thing
She gonna cut
is
you.
it's no fear. Like
she don't have fear.
I was in a relationship once where
Yes.
I was continually told that I was going to be killed. I had to ride a bus. I really was a single mom. I didn't have a vehicle. I had to catch the Ramona 15 for all those in Singing Hills. I had to catch the Ramona 15, then transfer, and a lot of different things. And I kept getting these threats, that I'm going to kill you on the bus stop. And I said, you know what? Meet me on the block.
Yep.
Just kill me
Meet
on the
me
bus
on
stop.
the block.
I want you to do that. It's just that fighter comes out of you when you're trying to defend
Fight or
yourself.
flight.
Yep.
It's fight or flight. And then when you're children, you guys remember when we were walking one time and y'all were very young.
I don't remember.
Oh, it was a van full of men, and they pulled up and they opened the door, and I had all 5 of my kids, and we were in the middle of kind of between
Construction sites.
and there was nowhere to go. We didn't have cell phones, and they opened that door, and I told my kids to run, and it was this big brick run.
She picked it
was
up.
and I picked it up, and I say, "Come for me if you want to." And they looked at me, they looked startled, closed that van door, and hiked.
We almost got kidnapped.
I've almost been kidnapped a couple times. Though.
Yes, you have, honestly.
Yeah, but then they probably look at me and they're probably like,
We don't want her. She
you don't
mad.
want-
I did not
She looks
know.
annoying.
I did not know we almost got kidnapped. We didn't want to talk about it today, but I almost got kidnapped leaving 5 a.m. theater. a couple
Oh,
weekends
wow.
ago. I wanna
Okay.
talk about it.
Go ahead and tell them what happened. We're gonna go ahead and call this a Misha moment.
Yes, ding ding ding,
Girl.
Like,
We don't
why
have
won't
that.
you give me my buzzes anyway? So I thought I told you this, but we were leaving. Shout out my boys, whatever y'all that own 5 a.m. theater. You know who you are. Probably not watching, but anyway, Jana, my best friend, and I, we were leaving this place called 5 a.m. Theater, had a blast, and it was like, I don't know, literally 4 o'clock in the morning, and so we were getting in an Uber, and it was a Caucasian lady, I would say like mid-50s, and obviously we had been out all night, and so, whatever. So we get in there, and we're coming to Addison. 5 a.m. Theater is in Dallas, close to
Downtown.
It's like
the
downtown.
police station downtown. So imagine you're leaving downtown, supposed to get on 35 going north. This woman, when we look up about 10 minutes later, we're passing the Dallas Zoo. Baby. Let me tell you what Misha did. Oh, since we talking about fighting. So I look at Jana and I was like, where are we at? Because we're literally passing the Dallas Zoo. By the time I look up, we passed Bishop Arts, all that. So I asked the lady where we were going, and she's all, I don't know. Like, I thought the address, because we were going to my best friend's address. When I look at her phone, that's not the address that's in there. It's a Dallas address. So she's taking us to Oak Cliff. She decides to turn it into an abandoned parking lot. That's when Fight or Flight came out. I said, give me your phone. She wouldn't give it to me. I snatched her phone from her cord that shows the thing, and I held it the entire time. I said, if they texting you, telling you where to drop us off at, I got it. And then, of course, she was just like, okay, what do you want me to do? And I said, put your foot to the pedal right now. And I told her where to go. I made her roll down the windows. Jana rolled down her window. I checked the child lock. And come to think of it, Janae told me, why didn't you just go to Charity's house? But in that
Why didn't
moment,
you just go somewhere else? Well,
yeah,
I wouldn't let
she
the
should have
lady
just
take me
drove
home.
us back downtown instead of all the way to Addison. But I was just so mad. I had that woman's phone the whole time, and I talked to her so crazy. I said, play me if you want to.
They reported
Play me.
her.
I don't. Oh yeah, she got reported. Period. Yeah, you were. So I'm not the one to kidnap. That's that. If you're trying to kidnap people. you don't
Okay.
Hold up.
That's probably what you was thinking.
Yeah, nuck if you buzz. She
So
about to get
with
knocked
that
out.
though, so Ron, what do you think about that? What do you think about women being out that late at night
Oh,
by themselves?
God, here
What's
we
your
go.
thoughts on that?
Judgy
That's
Patty.
what we got a guy in the room for.
Okay.
We got a male in the
He's
room.
the promoter.
But I understand.
I mean, it is dangerous to be out that late. I think women, what y'all do that men don't do, and some men I guess maybe do, but y'all, what's dangerous is y'all pull up to the place at 3 o'clock, sit in the car, figure out makeup or do
Right.
whatever you're doing, texting, and you ain't looking. You're not looking
Right.
around. Like I was raised to keep my swivel. I look at all the mirrors. I'm constant. If we stopping, I'm doing it like subconsciously. I'm not. There's no way you're gonna sneak up on me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But women, y'all just pull up. It be 4 o'clock. Y'all just it's like
Yeah.
y'all don't think nothing gonna happen.
Right.
And it does.
Right.
And it happens in the car a lot. You're just sitting in the car unlocked. Y'all just in there talking and kikiing and
Yeah.
whatnot. And then so I think if you mind your P's and Q's, I tell, like, I'm a advocate of Uber. I know Uber can be kind of
janky
sometimes for, I guess, a single woman. I guess I'm not that, so I don't feel that same way. But for the most part, you can get in and out very quickly. Like, that's what parking and having to park way down the street, and you walk into your car at 4:30 in the morning, and it's 3 blocks away. I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that. Right. You know? So I surely wouldn't think, some woman would, or women, together. So I mean, I think minimizing opportunities for people to get you would be important. So like going home before
the club closes.
Well, right. I don't understand why anybody stays so late. Like, if you're by yourself.
I can't act like. I mean, after hours are,
That's the thing.
You can have
that
fun.
is not a thing in Dallas.
5 a.m. theater had like 2,000 people in there last night.
It just opened, though. We haven't always been like that.
Well, Ecstasy and all the other places. A lot of people, what you don't understand, because you really weren't partying like that because you was in school, so you weren't here in the nightlife. We've been doing this 20 years.
So where was you going after hours?
I was...
Huh?
Freeze.
Ron said he's gonna pause.
Okay, no, I'm just saying, like, after hours. Ecstasy, V-Live, like, it's been
strip
a thing.
club.
Strip, yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
Parties.
I personally didn't like. I never have liked going to the strip club after the club. It always takes something from me.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Like money, energy,
drama,
something happens. I lost my phone,
right?
My keys,
right.
something.
So you don't like strip clubs at all?
I don't like them for that reason. Now, if I go to one, like if celebrating something, and it's just like I'm not really going because I'm trying to see women with no clothes on. It's just more like
it's something to do.
Man, we kicking it.
Yeah,
right. And it's I could have been showering, some random person outside, for
me,
our
gosh, like,
so I mean, and that's not a norm, but I'm over the strip club, but.
Hey, scratching of the head, ball-headed lie.
That's for Martin. Ball-headed lie.
I'm over it though.
He did start scratching his head though. Ball-headed lie. All right.
No. But the thing is, any ride share that you have, we all know that even though you're going to have a ride share, you should not be to the point of intoxication that you don't know where you are for a moment.
Now that I agree with.
And luckily that night we were not. We were not at all.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. So even I remember being in the car with Charity a lot when we used to travel back in the day, and she would get very upset because I would follow the rideshare driver, and you say, "Mom, why are you doing that?" I said, "Because
on your app,
on the app, got my own map open. I'm looking what they do."
But she would have it playing like
while
take a right.
Yeah,
that's unnecessary.
No, I learned not to do that. But what they knew is I'm very conscious, and I'm going to ask you questions. And Misha, I'm glad that you were able to do that. Sounds like it was a little late, but hey, look, better late than never. But all I'm saying is everybody be careful out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking
I
about,
do have a question about staying out late though.
Yeah.
Would you date a girl? I mean, just being a promoter, I know the answer to this, but like, because that's been your lifestyle and that's what pays your bills and stuff like that. Honestly, the girl that's at every sidebar every Sunday, level every Sunday, all the spots that you do, like if you saw her every weekend and you didn't know, it's not a chick that you've known or whatever, would you be like, I'm gonna take her serious? Like, would you date a girl that's always out? No. Okay. Because obviously you're there because that's how you pay your bills. It's part of your business.
But what if she, devil's advocate, I understand why he's saying it, but what if she's there because she's trying to get chose?
Yeah, she's a single girl.
She's going to the club. Is that not normally the case? I don't club.
Well, I mean, that might be her reason, but I just don't. If you're in the club, same amount of time I am.
Yeah, and you're being paid to be there.
I'm getting paid to be there.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah. So hold on. You saying if you see the same girl out every weekend, same places, that's a turnoff?
Essentially, that's what he's saying.
I'm not saying it's a turnoff. It's just that's not somebody who I'm going to be pursuing.
Let me hit the button.
What button you trying to hit?
He'll do the whole smash and pass. He did, like,
not smash and pass.
Look
Look at
No, listen. You wouldn't date her seriously. She wouldn't.
Why she put you
wouldn't-
out there like
No,
that?
I'm being for real. Like, that's not somebody you would take home to meet your kids and your mom and dad. But it might be a chick that, like,
But what if she is just enjoying herself? Now,
right. That's how most men think. I'm telling you.
I don't know. I'm not saying that she wasn't. Like, she could full well be enjoying herself. And,
It's just
I
your
mean, and that's
preference.
fine. But,
preference.
you know, that's just not.
He wants somebody that's at the Potter's house every Sunday.
For the record,
and knitting clothes, and he ain't doing none of that.
for the record, I wouldn't want to date a man who's always in the club,
Right.
or always out.
That's not your life
Well,
at all.
okay, right.
You know?
right.
But what if that's the person's means of meeting people?
Right.
That's why I just asked.
Right.
And it possibly could be, but for him, he feels like, and I honestly, because I feel like Kamisha's probably dealt with this. I'm putting her business out there.
No,
like,
I have.
people who feel like she's working in the club, they're like, oh, you always in the club, so
Yes.
you always out.
They think I'm a party girl.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's not what they want.
Right. But
But-
then they get to know me and they're like, oh, like, you're a real businesswoman. You
Yeah,
know what
you're
I'm
really
saying?
working.
But outside looking in, it's like, I know this is what she does for a living and she's always done this, but it's like, you know, they just all automatically label me as a party girl. I'm the same way, like, I take myself out of the situation. If I didn't know Ron and DeVille and, you know, Dre and everybody, and I was a customer and I was always going and stuff, I'd be like, I'm not dating a promoter. Because first of all, I know how promoters are. Promoter men, not women.
Oh.
So, and I'm not saying you, but I know how promoter men
She
are.
putting y'all all
no,
together.
let's keep it a buck. I know how promoter, Ron, come on. Don't leave me hanging.
Ron,
I know how
deny
promoter,
till you die.
man, please.
Oh, I see, but I have the luxury of not having to deny nothing.
I do want to jump in on another point. Misha, you asked him a question. Janae, he answered the question. That's how he feels, and that was
Right.
good.
Yeah.
So, but the second thing is when the question is asked, would you date someone? Not just date. Would you marry someone? And then, at what age do we stop going to clubs? I mean, like the
yeah.
club. I'm not talking
I
about going to see
I'm with
jazz
her.
and different things like that. At what age? Number one, do we stop being intoxicated?
Whoa. Like, see, she takes this.
No, if y'all can say it, I can ask it.
I
I'm
wanna hear
asking
a
a
point.
legitimate question. At what age do we stop being intoxicated? We can't blame it on our 20s anymore. At what age are we thinking that we're going to find someone in the club, and then we think after we get together, get married, and you have some babies, that the club is going to come out of them? If the club is in you, the club is in you. You got to work the club out first. So you may find someone. I'm not saying that you're not, because I already know what the clap back is going to be. You done found some people in church and they just as messed up.
Yeah.
The church is a building.
For sick people.
Christianity is in your heart.
Yeah.
So it is where you find a person. It's typically where you're going to find them after hours, after you get married.
It's
So-
burning.
Ron, if you could answer that question. So we're gonna do it a little slower. When do you stop going to the club? At what age?
I mean, I think it depends on the person. You know, like my brother, take my brother, for example. Prince was partying with me. I was dragging him to the club when I was just starting, and I was underage going myself. And so he's been partying almost longer than me.
Right.
So he doesn't like.
He's over it.
He's over it.
He's over it.
I mean, if he comes out, it's just because I'm in town, or whatever, just random. But he's okay with staying at the house. You know, for me, when at nighttime, I have a problem with just staying still in my house. Like I be wanting to go. Doesn't necessarily mean I could care. I could go anywhere. I could go to jazz. I could go.
Right.
I really like disco and like
You can go to Waffle
different
House.
kind of music. You know, like I don't have to go to a hip hop club. I ain't got to see. Well, I ain't gonna go there, but I mean, I like all different kinds of music and all that. So I mean, I just like to be out and network and meet people. So that's just something that I like to do.
Yeah.
I personally think that in your 40s, you should not be in the club.
Okay, but what
I
is
think that is
No,
so
but
what's the club that
judgmental.
wait, what's the club?
No, meaning like I'm talking about, I'm not saying you can't go to no lounge.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
Like
I'm not
hookahs
saying
and
you're not
stuff.
going
Okay.
to see a live band.
Okay.
But the club,
Like a nightclub
like
from 10 to
downtown.
2?
So it depends. I think
Why?
it depends on the age. Like if
Why?
if you're 40 and the people at said club are
It's
like
25,
20 something,
yeah.
that's a little weird.
Yeah.
But
But
if
if you're-
everybody is around the same age, I think that's fine.
If it's a melting pot, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not the right
Yeah.
person to ask because I feel like it's all a wasted experience. I would rather be doing something else than being around all these people sweating or standing, looking at each
Yeah.
other, waiting for the song to come
It
on.
depends. It depends where you are in your life, though.
Standing on
Right.
couches.
If people
like,
are
Janae's never been a clubber.
Wait, if people are married, they're probably going to go to the club together, possibly.
or lounge or something.
Or they're going to stay home because they have each other. But if
Right.
you're single, what do you want these single people to do?
Sit there and knit and watch Netflix.
no, you have to
Like, who
knit,
does
but
that?
I'm not gonna be in the club.
You say that now.
No, I'm not.
No.
I'm not. I have no desire.
I don't.
But
I
you'll
don't,
go to bars.
Maybe a bar.
Yeah, you'll go to a bar.
Maybe a bar, but I'm not going to the club. I
You're
have
not going to
no-
go to a nightclub.
No.
Right. But you'll go to a day party. You went to one
I
about a
would
month
go-
and
I
you had a
would-
blast.
I would go to something like that, but
Yeah.
like the club.
Yeah, okay.
That is
but you
play.
but you will go to brunch and then like a day party like
Yes.
you did about a month ago. And you had so much fun.
Hit me with a brunch.
Okay.
You
Gotcha.
know, I can tell that I'm sitting at the table with single women outside of Janae that has some children because
I'm still technically single.
I understand, but that's kind of your form of actually getting outside, as y'all call it, going outside.
We outside.
But when you really get married and settle down and have family, then your mindset should shift.
Without
What
changing
age is the age that you start shifting? I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with y'all going to the club. I'm not condemning that. That's your lifestyle. That's your choice. But there's got to be a cutoff age.
Well, you also asked the question, when do you stop getting drunk? I'm going to answer that one.
Okay.
What if it's not an age and it's more of what your situation is at the time? Like if you're starting to date somebody and y'all are getting serious and you know, y'all are really dating and, you know, courting, as they say back in
In her day?
and you're serious, you know, with intent and you're going forward, then I think at that point that's probably a good time to lead the club along.
Yes.
But then what happens if like 6 months down the line it don't work out and
You back.
you know, you staying at the house and you there. And then you just like, all right, man, I gotta go out. You know, and you go to the club. That don't mean you done reverted. You just
Right.
You just
like, I
feeling
gotta
in
get out.
time.
Right. You're filling in space.
I think he's right though. It depends on where you are
In life.
but
Right.
you can't say if you want to get married, you got to stop going to the club because
And
I mean, what is that going to change? Then you're just
Exactly.
inside. How you gonna meet the people?
Exactly. And I know a lot of people being in this industry for as long as I have been. I've seen a lot of couples meet at events that we've done together and they're still together. They got married, they have kids, and they met just being out and about. You know what I'm saying? So so like I see that a lot. I'm like, because we did this event, they're together. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm still single, but whatever. But I mean, also just to answer your question, because I want Charity to answer a question about drinking. But I can say for me, I have fully, obviously you guys know that I fully retired full time from being a nightclub promoter. I still do it behind the scenes and stuff, and I book my athletes and things of that nature, but I'm not there every weekend, going on now 2 years. But I that was a mental and spiritual decision that I made for myself.
Come on,
literally.
spiritual.
No, it really was. And you know, Mom and Janae definitely know that I was literally having panic attacks in the DJ booth. I remember one event in particular, we had booked world champion Earl Spence, shout out EJ. And it was a huge event. I had a whole lot of tables and clients in there. And I remember it was like 30 degrees outside. And we were doing this at Mr. Rich, and I stood outside for about an hour because my panic attack was that bad. And I was like, God was literally, he pushed me out of the business. because
Wait.
I was physically getting sick.
Hold on, I'm sorry. This is related but unrelated. You also had a panic attack in Jamaica. So was it like?
Well, at that time, I was still doing the party. I mean, it was a
Okay.
lot of other stress-related things
Okay.
that was going on. But like, yeah, I forgot about that.
It was the one way in, one way out in an unfamiliar place, and then just the crowd. I think
Claustrophobia.
Being claustrophobic. But as far as intoxication, okay, here's the deal. For me, if somebody is saying, "Oh, I'm going to get drunk tonight,"
Right.
that to me would be a turnoff.
Okay.
But I understand, depending on where you are in life, the type of week you may have had.
Yeah.
The level of life you in, you out. Intoxication may slip up on you.
Right.
It has slipped up on me
Right.
a couple of times in life.
Right.
And not that many, just a couple of times. But it just depends on where you are. Everybody doesn't drink. Everybody doesn't smoke, whatever. But I do not like when people plan to get drunk.
Intentional, like, I'm getting messed up tonight.
I feel like that's when it gets weird. You're like, are you okay?
Right.
Everybody, that's not everybody's way, and I know that's not what you guys are saying of how you cope with life and stress. I've never had a drink in my life outside of a sip of a what is it called? Pina colada. I probably was 21 years of age, and at that moment I just started laughing. I couldn't stop laughing. And then I couldn't remember where my shoes were. I was at work.
Oh, for pina colada?
No, seriously.
She tells us the story, and I don't think it's
at
true.
at that point, I said, I always have to know where I am. I don't ever want to feel like I don't know where I am. And so my mom's mom was an alcoholic. And I knew that alcoholism ran through the family. And I would tell my children, I said, every generation, people don't believe in this because this is June Speaks. Everybody know I'm a minister, so I got to go there. Every generation, the enemy looks for another generation to pull into alcoholism. So I tried, I do that with my kids. So there's other ways to have fun outside of intoxication and drinking. I'm not knocking people who drink. That's your choice. Christian people drink. Wine is in all through the Bible. I'm not don't come for me. I'm
You're
not
saying
knocking
excessive
you.
drinking,
I'm
Mom.
just saying excessive drinking, over drinking, and those are looking for fun. Are you thinking it's fun just because you are intoxicated, or you're trying to fill in voids in your life?
Right.
Just make sure that's not the reason.
But Ron, what I do want to talk about is, we've already touched on a little bit of dating. How do you feel about, I don't know if you ever partook in this, online dating right now?
You do it on Instagram.
You don't like it?
No, I really don't. I mean, Instagram.
Like DMs, that's online.
No, really, I really use Instagram as just like communication. Like, instead of getting her number, I'm gonna get her Instagram, because if I put a number in my phone,
You're not gonna remember who it is.
Again.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna know who it is, and
Yeah.
it's awkward to be like, can you
Send a picture. Right.
Right.
So it's just easier to get an Instagram, but I don't go like looking on Instagram and then like, oh, let me slide. Like,
Okay.
That's just.
Well,
if
how
I
do
don't know her already, then I'm not gonna slide in her DM.
How do you feel about women shooting their shot?
I think that's great.
Has it happened to you?
Yeah.
Okay. What was the approach? How did she do it? Take us there.
Sounds like you trying.
No, it's like
Not in his DM, but you trying to figure out the.
Oh,
I don't need to figure out an approach.
Oh.
Period.
Main character energy.
what was the question?
How have women shot their shot with you?
Oh, I mean, just, DM in person. I mean, like, recently it was because of Micah, they'll see
Like
me,
Kamisha
they'll
said.
see me with Micah, and they'll be like, oh, you was just so good with your kids, and we just got to get together and do a kid date. And I'll be like, oh,
Okay.
You know what it
I
is.
know what that means.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's cool, too. Like, why not? Why shouldn't I enjoy,
Yeah.
having... I mean, I'm not going to introduce my kids to a plethora of women
Right.
just going around. So, no, I wouldn't naturally do that.
Yeah.
But it sounds good. It looks
Yeah.
cool,
I have a question, because I saw this thing and men were saying, the guy was like, what men like. And he said, surprisingly, that men don't receive compliments from women in the same way that women receive compliments from men. And so a lot of times women don't be like, oh, you look so handsome today. Or I feel like women might say, oh, you smell good, or maybe I'm just a flirt. But you know what I mean?
No, I
But-
love when men
mean,
smell good.
Yeah.
Well, for sure, when we hear that, I mean, we don't get it probably as much, but because it's like, men's supposed to do all of that. We're supposed to do all.
Right.
It's supposed to be, we do everything. But,
Right.
but I mean, no, I think that's it's a pleasant surprise. I mean, that's how I test my cologne or any kind of thing. Something I might throw on. If I get a compliment, then I'm like, all right, well,
That one works.
that shirt works,
Right.
So yeah, I would say yeah.
What you wearing right now? Some Issey Miyake? How's that how you say it? Some Versace blue.
it's
What do all
called-
those men wear?
Something from the
I
lab.
forget. It's new. I just got it. I forget the name.
I know what it is.
Nah, I really.
Ron being like those women.
Nah, it's It's Perfume de Marley.
I've never
That
heard
sounds
of
like
it.
that's from Neiman Marcus. That sounds
It is from
expensive.
Neiman.
Okay, money, y'all. Okay, so I believe.
Ladies, he got
wait,
money.
Are you single?
Yes.
Okay, ladies, he is single. He smells good. He goes to Neiman Marcus. Okay.
He has nice skin.
We are not putting Ron on the.
Why are you blocking?
Why you blocking?
Why?
Yeah.
Why are you blocking?
Why are you?
Why are you blocking?
This ain't no.
No, he has nice skin.
Okay.
Look, he's well put together.
Okay.
He's
Hold on.
single.
Okay, back up.
Oh, see?
Ron, actually, go ahead and give him your Instagram. What's your Instagram? What's your Instagram name? I'm gonna put it on.
Instagram is King _ Ron Dallas.
Bam, slide in his DMs because he claimed he don't get a lot.
And
so.
you do not have to go
does.
through Misha OA.
please
Hey,
don't
but
go
look,
through-
look, hold on. Let me be straight
do
up.
gotta go
though.
through me.
You can slide, I'm not looking for nothing. So
Okay.
because I'm
not.
I'm really focused. So it's
He might take you to get something to eat.
I do.
summer is almost over. My son, I'm gonna have to start taking to school in the mornings,
Right.
and getting up early and doing all of that. So I just don't see how I'd be able to
You know
juggle all
what?
of that, so.
Ron just bailed all the way back. I mean, he backpedaled all the way out.
I mean, well,
like, don't
Kamisha
come.
blocked everyone.
No. Honestly, because obviously y'all know this. I have two male best friends, Jimmy and Ron, and we talk every day. I do know that I just commended him on being honest, and he was like, "I'm not intentionally dating right now because he's very busy."
So you know how you always try to put me with my best friend Jordan,
Right.
But that's
So
different
why
though.
Don't, why don't
Me and
y'all
Ron have
like,
dated. It's
Right.
different.
Don't
You and Jordan.
Don't you do it? Don't you do it?
Why aren't y'all dating?
Well, okay.
Oh no! See, I knew she was gonna be messy.
Why aren't y'all dating?
I knew she
She's
was gonna be
tried it
messy.
first.
She already said it. No, not turning my mic off.
Can I do this?
Oh my
Let me.
God.
I want
All
two
this is getting
mics.
cut.
I want two.
All this is getting
I want
cut.
two mics.
Two
So
mics.
I met Ron when Kamisha was like in her 20s, and
19.
she brought him to the house, right? And he was coming up the steps, and
With flowers.
I
With a
looked
bouquet
at
of
Mark,
roses.
and I said, "Mark, I see horns coming out of his head like devil horns." I said, "He is the devil from the pit of hell."
Yes, and she
I
used to
run
tell
those
me that
story,
all
run
the
those
time.
story, Run those story, but then that didn't work out for them, and then Misha just had a crack up moment and did some crazy stuff, and then I realized she was.
He broke my heart. Let's be real.
She was a whore. But Ron, tell the story what your mom said about Misha.
really
So
gonna do that?
I want to do it. Go ahead.
His mama liked me, so let's not do that.
No, go ahead.
So so Misha,
Mind y'all, again, this was college.
this was college or whatever. So she came to my parents' house, and she had some real
Janae's gonna love
short
this.
shorts on,
Cheeks.
like little short, like the little split, like little,
Yes.
little shorts, something that you would wear in your house.
Right.
So she had that little walk that.
A tiptoe.
So when she came in my house, she came in there with that on, and she just walked by with my dad and my mom. My mom was like,
You didn't speak?
I
No,
don't-
it wasn't that. It was just the fact that like I had this big
she-
bubbly personality, and I walk in and I'm all sash. Y'all know how I
I
walk.
don't think it was the personality.
Well, the thing is, mom, like at this, so I have a brother, and that's it. It's just two boys. So if we bring in any girl in the house,
Right.
my mom's gonna like look and try
Yeah.
to figure out, And we rarely brought girls to the house anyway. So it was kind of like a different, But I think I was living at the house
Yeah.
during that time.
Yeah.
So it was like
I came over to meet them, or whatever, hang out, go to the pool, and
Yeah.
it was in
And-
short shorts.
Yeah, it was in short shorts. So even my dad was like,
Your dad was looking.
my dad looked.
I know, but no, he thought I was cute for him. Like, oh, that son, that's you.
Look,
And then the mama was like, no.
Hold on now.
What?
Hold on. Don't talk about my mama.
No.
Checker.
No, I wasn't saying it in that way.
Checker.
I was.
Boy, boys and they moms.
I forgot. What'd you
All
say
she
about my
did is just identify.
She
had on
identified.
short shorts.
But she never said
And
nothing
like-
about my character, type of
No,
woman
no,
I
no,
was. It was
no.
just like outside looking in. She's like, Ron, what is she wearing about home?
Yeah,
Okay.
she didn't know all of that other stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's unfortunate y'all did not work out. However, Ron, have you ever met someone, this can be like our wrap-up question, met someone that you thought, I don't know if you've been engaged or thought you could get engaged to?
Me.
And like what is the light switch for, I don't know, you can't speak for all men, but for men to know like this is the one? Because they can be dating somebody like 4 years and then they never get married. You can date somebody for 2 months and then a man's like, love her.
I think, I really, I can't speak for everybody, but it seems like for men, we have to be mature enough to know when we're at that point.
Okay.
Like, so we might think we're at that point. Like, I might love her and think I'm in love and I want this and I want that, but I'm really not there. I'm not at that point. And I've been in that scenario where I thought that, this would definitely be the kind of person I would marry, but I never went directly towards that. Like now, if I, find somebody that, I'm going to immediately know it. I feel like I'm going to know. Like,
is it a characteristic or?
I think it's more to it. I think it's energy. Like the energy is related. I think, like alignment, like all of that is important. It's not just surface level. Like, oh, she's
Cute.
fine,
right?
And then she's smart. Oh, she got some money. Okay, cool. No, it's just like it's just got to be that person. And when it's that person, then especially like I feel like since I'm not chasing the person, like I get to. I get to find it, identify it when on my terms. So if I see who I'm dealing with, who I want to deal with, and it works, then it works. And then I know that's okay, well, I'm going in. Like, this is what I'm full stream ahead.
Yeah.
This is what I want. This is what my intent is. And if she's with that, then I know.
So the short answer is men have to be mature enough to know. That's what you're saying.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't think an immature man can make the right decision.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what you think you know, but you don't
okay,
really know.
but the scenario I gave when a guy will date somebody 2 years, nothing happens, but then get out of that relationship and date somebody for a couple months, and then all of a sudden they're engaged.
Yeah.
Because
you're saying they matured in that time?
In that relationship, they found out what they did wrong, what they could have worked on, what they didn't like, what they did like. Unfortunately, but that's what sometimes, what's that saying? Iron sharpens
iron.
Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, iron sharpens iron. It's like both people. I think both people would leave those relationships being in a better scenario. Okay, well, I know I ain't talking to this kind of dude no more.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. So,
And
I think women sometimes are perplexed by that, but I think what happens is a woman knows that she's wasted her time. Like, I think sometimes we feel like, okay, I put in all this time, that means he's gonna marry me, but you know that there's something that's off. And then I think it goes to Ron's point. It probably is maturity. Of course, I'm not a man, but it's just more like, I think it's, like what he said is alignment. It's literally, I don't want to say a spark, but it's like, oh, this person's my friend. Oh, this person's kind of chill. Oh, this is her real personality. Oh, she loves my kids. I think all those things come into alignment.
Yeah.
And it just works.
a light switch goes off. And I do think that, like, him being not a single dad, but being a father of 2 boys now, you do think differently from what I noticed of you, is that, like, he's not just dating a date. Like, you have to like kids, maybe want to maybe have some more kids once he gets married, whatever. So it's not just about Ron anymore. So also dating, I've dated men with children. They are different than guys that don't have kids, that have no responsibilities. And they do think differently. And just men of a certain age. I think once they hit 35-ish, you're right.
Said no.
You're right.
So let's go from, I'm going to say Janae's age is 25, 28. From 28 to in your 40s maybe.
Oh, I remember.
Out of all of those years, there's never been one person you thought could have worked out of all of the women you've dated.
He said yes.
Yeah.
You said Janae's age. I'm not 28.
No, I was talking about Janae's age, what you tell your children.
I'm
27 I'm sorry.
Janae, my age limit that I give my kids.
Yeah,
Okay.
kidding. So because the reason I asked the question is because there's so many single women out there, and then women are spending so much time with men. And I've always told my daughters, it doesn't take a man but a moment to know whom he's going to marry. And for all of you out there that y'all engaged and y'all know y'all engaged and y'all still dating women, your wedding is the next day, shame on you. You know who you are. I'm just saying, I think I would love to see people, and I just love for people to be honest. You got women who really want to be married.
Right.
And I feel like that there are men who are just out
Wasting
there
their time.
They're wasting women time knowing that they have no desire to be married, and how much sex is going to be enough sex for you. If you go from this bed to that woman, your hearts are being connected to as one, and you can't break away from that person trying to go over to this person, and you've now just taken away somebody's 5 years or 2 years.
Or like Mama always says, they take away their childbearing years.
For all the women, stop wasting your childbearing years. If that click, as Ron has said, and I know you're talking about yourself, I've had this conversation with me, and most of the time, we just know. If he just knows, and he can know, as Charity just said, in 3 months, 6 months, you've given him 2 years.
Depending on the age.
If you're young and you're still in college, that's something totally different.
Right.
Yeah.
But a 40-year-old woman still dating somebody for 5 years, girl.
I wish I would. Unless it's by choice.
That's kind of what I was gonna say. Is like, I think, I heard we say, like, if you're single, a lot of women are single and they're older and they're single and they devoted time to a man and they gave him all this time, and I'm like, well, you shouldn't have. I mean,
Point blank.
And I mean that because it's like, we don't, like, it's like you gotta if you don't know going into it and you don't feel that, then if you don't feel it, it's fine. You don't feel it. Like, I've been turned down. Like, I've been talking to somebody and she wasn't feeling the way I was dealing with her, right? Like, she wanted to date faster. I wasn't dating faster enough for her. She wanted me to come up with all these dates. I wasn't trying to do all that.
Right.
So when she told me that, she was like, well, I gotta, I can't do this. Cool. That's fine.
Yeah.
That is cool. I wish you all the luck, because, I'm not going to be forced to do that either, and then we be faking it for all these years.
Right.
And I also feel like, maybe I'm wrong for saying this, but a lot of women, the thing is, you got to get married. It doesn't even really say that in the Bible. It says if you gotta be with somebody.
You ready to have that Bible?
If you gotta be with somebody, then you get married. But it didn't say. Well, hold on. But I'm just saying.
We're gonna hear you out.
It didn't say go get married.
He's actually right. That is the debate that's going on in Shade Room. He's actually right.
No,
it does not say anywhere go get married.
No, what I think the point that he's also trying to make is, a lot of times women know where their men are as far as marriage. If you're going to somebody and you're talking to them and say, I want to be married, and he's not taking you to look for rings, and he's like, putting it off, that is your clue. He will let you stay if you're doing all these things.
You cleaning, you having his
or
babies,
just even if you're not even doing, even if he feels like he's fine with just the pace of the relationship, he's telling you essentially he's not ready. And then women still like, well, okay, I'm gonna love him enough. I'm gonna do this. I can do this. I can be this type of woman. I'm gonna cook for him. I'm gonna clean his house. Girl. I wish, again.
It is very rare that you can, I would say, or at least in my experience, that you can morph into some other woman that's gonna make me go a step further.
But that's what women think.
But which goes back to the point, when the stars align, what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ron, here we go. Because when you bring in God, we got to go to the scripture. Hebrews 13:4 said, marriage is honorable among all, and the bed is undefiled. But fornicators and adulterers, God will judge. God says his marriage is honorable, that it is worthy of honor according to the word of God.
Was that in the New or Old Testament? I was being serious.
I just said this is, but she knows it.
Are you going to answer the question?
I'm gonna
It's in the Old Testament.
I'm
No,
gonna
Bible,
answer.
girl.
I'm gonna answer the question. I said Hebrews, but if you don't know what Hebrews is, then you don't
that
know the
part.
book of the Bible.
That part.
These
These
right
are
there.
the books of the
You
Bible.
know the books of the Bible. These are the, okay.
I have to get there, but I'm saying the Old Testament, they said that's the old law. So we're not going to go there?
All I'm saying is that's why we're in the state that we're in right now, is because people are just jumping from bed to bed and person to person.
That's not what I didn't mean. I didn't mean that you don't have to get married. You can go jump from bed to bed. I'm saying you can be, if you're working on yourself, or you got yourself as your goal right now, that's okay. Like,
no. That's
and if
fine.
it take you till you 50 to figure out.
But you shouldn't be dating if you're working on yourself. Because you date to
no,
marry.
I don't think you should be dating and you haven't figured yourself out, which
Right.
is like me. Like right now, I'm not really dating because I'm trying to get my situation what I'm doing and my comfortability and
That's
my
good.
schedule, all that
Yeah.
together before I bring in some other,
Right.
something that's pulling
Soul.
from that. Because I'm gonna have to give energy to that and give equal energy. I mean, I can't just be stringing her along. So I want to be fair. So until that point, I'm not looking. But
So men,
This
that's
is-
what they need to hear. You need to
Well-
get to that point. He knows I can't factor in a woman in a relationship right now because she's only going to get probably 5% of me. So a lot of men will get into relationships knowing in their head, I don't really see myself getting married for another 4 or 5 years, but I want this girl, I don't want nobody else to have her. So it's more about, I want this chick, but she's over here thinking, I'm going to get a ring, but it comes with maturity. Ron now knows, I'm not ready for that. So if she cool with he's very direct, he's very blunt. He lets him know, look, I ain't talking about nothing. We can go eat, we can kick it, we can watch a movie. But he's very honest. And then if a woman, he's giving the women a chance to make an opportunity to choose. And she can be like, I'm down with that, I'm cool. Or she can be like the other girl and be like, that's not what I want. And she want to, go find something else.
And I think
so
that's
it's a level of maturity.
And I think it's honest, and I appreciate that. I'm just saying, I was just correcting the scripture. You said it wasn't in the Bible, so I had to tell you it was in the Bible. But
what you read didn't.
what you read wasn't what I was
no,
saying.
no, no,
Yeah.
no, no, no. The whole thing about the beginning of creation was husband and a wife. It's a family's type of mode, and that's where we're falling. That's where we are right now. It's because people don't want to be married, but they want
Privileges.
Men
Yes.
want the benefits of marriage without the responsibility of marriage. And women think if I give men wifely and I perform wifely duties to men, that's going to show them that I'm good enough to marry. It's not working.
Okay, well,
How is that working for you? The whole thing, and that's why that's a whole different type of conversation. But biblically, it really is God's intent for there to be marriage.
Because in the Bible, it didn't say baby mama, baby daddy.
but it also said don't lay in the bed when your wife is on her period. So
yeah.
y'all be picking and choosing a bunch of stuff, but we're not gonna go there today.
going there today.
Because we had a great talk with Ron.
Yeah.
I love that for us.
Yeah.
I love that. Did you enjoy yourself?
I did. I didn't know that one. I didn't know that.
Thanks for being our first major guest. outside
Yeah,
family.
yeah, for real.
Yeah, tell them again how they can find you or your businesses or
All that.
whatever you want to
Shout
say.
Yes, I'm on Instagram, King_Ron Dallas. My promotional company is called the Throne Group. Same name on Instagram. We do Thursdays at Harlow.
Okay.
Sundays at Sidebar.
Let's go.
I've got Airbnbs. Quite a few. My listings are on my link on my Instagram, so you can go and got some downtown and some in Oldies, Dallas.
Yep.
Check them out.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
Airbnbs are so cute, and they have themes and all that stuff, and it's
hold
like
on.
he put a lot of energy into it.
And don't listen to Misha, ladies.
What? No.
No,
Well,
Kamisha,
I
don't.
will say
Hold
this:
that.
Ron is a great guy, great dad. He'll be a great husband. He's a great best friend to me, and y'all don't know.
Okay.
And
might be my
and
Boaz.
I will end, and I will end with this. When I told Kamisha some 20-something years ago, I do not believe that about you, and I have watched you over the years. I really have. I watched him
Oh, when
over
you
the
called him a
years.
devil.
When I called him.
Okay.
I said he was in the prime. He was in college, so it was a little bit
Ron
different.
was a dog back then.
But all I'm saying is he is amazing. He's family to us.
Yes.
He really is family to us. He's a great guy. I appreciate you. I respect you. I respect you as a man. I respect you as a father. I respect your honesty at this table. So I really appreciate you. Just much love for you.
I feel like she already said that in the beginning.
She loves Ron.
She loves Ron. Maybe Ron will be in the family. But hey, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. I am the Charity.
I am Janae.
I am Misha 08.
And that's Ron down there. But we out of here. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.